it never wants to cooperate. Never makes it easy. Guys, we are live. Coach Fox here with Metro Jiu-Jitsu, and we got
Professor Muhammad. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday.
So we are, we've got our topic today, and we are going into do belts. Well, I mean, we've got a couple things. First things first, we have, what you writing you writing your essay over there? What are we getting into? You're sharing the post. I love it. Go ahead, finish sharing. I'll keep talking.
Yeah.
They, if guys, wherever you're watching this, if you could do us a favor, always let us know how the audio and video are doing. Always feel free to put comments, keep the engagements going. We will get to your questions. We will absolutely get to your questions, and then we'll add them onto the show. And we're starting a new segment of pulling in from different social medias. Reddit is my favorite because Reddit is a bucket of crabs, so it always makes me feel better about my life whenever I go on Reddit. Really in any realm. You know, you go on there for financial things. You get to see how the other half, makes decisions. And then with, of course, Jiu-Jitsu, we're going to see some reaction videos. We have two of some of the craziest street fights I've seen in a minute. And one is clean till it's not, and then the other one is just hilarious. It's kind of like bum fights a little bit. So it's on World Star, so that should tell you something. But let us know how everything's going. Like, comment, help push us through, and then share this. To kind of get that in the background. So if you're on YouTube, you can listen to this in the background, and we'll go from there. So we are going to start off the conversation though with do belts matter anymore? And I think this is an appropriate. What kind of spawned this topic was next week we're having Coach Todd from Monroe Jiu-Jitsu on, but he posted something about the belts after black belt, and because after there's degrees and I'll have to pull it up. There's degrees of belts though. When you get a black belt, your stripes then become degrees.
Correct.
So your first degree black belt. And you get second soon, right?
December.
Is it December?
Yep.
Oh, no way. Okay. And what was interesting is I was talking to Alvarez about degrees, and I was like, it's first degree white belt too, right? He's like, no, those are just stripes. I was like, dude, check it out. I sent him the link to the IBJJF, first degree, second degree white belt, and he's like, everyone's knees. And I'm just thinking of that Han Solo line where he's like, I'm out of the game for a little while and everyone's got delusions of grandeur. And so he's like, man, they were just stripes when I was coming up. But Todd was saying, he's like, this has to change because they're just given to us. That's straight. And I personally, I don't really like it. I feel like they're just I don't feel like they're earned. That's why I don't really keep track of stripes after black belt because it's all you have to do is exist.
You still have to get the stripe from a senior.
I mean, you gotta get it, but it's not. What Alvarez isn't here. He doesn't see me train. I mean, he sees me compete. I send him video. He knows he knows I'm training, but it's the level of
I don't think you would get your next degree if Alvarez knew that you were not
retired.
Training, and you're kind of you hung it up. You haven't been around to the gym.
Yeah. So, and that was Todd's point. And we'll talk to him about it, but he's like, hey, there needs to be a certain level of consistency in the training, and you can't just kind of retire and do the things from there. So, I
think you have to grow. You have to training at the black belt level. Your learning is different, and you can learn with say. Watching jiu-jitsu versus actually training jiu-jitsu at white and blue, you have to train, so the I can see why that it is the way it is, because if you're not training at white and blue but you put in the time, there's a lot of room for growth there. At black belt, you can essentially see something and the moves already kind of in your physical and central nervous system. You could see something and you might retain it a lot easier.
So to open the question, first and foremost, do belts, do they even matter? Does the belt system matter? Is it a the topic, I love when people throw the word cult around with jiu-jitsu. And I think it's worth noting that any good brand, any good business, any good organization, or the word cult, the root word of culture is cult. And so it's like there's any culture has you've conformed to an accepted kind of terms of behavior, right? Like if you're the culture at the mosque is expected that you guys you don't pray, but you pop your shoes off, right? You can't step on. And so I could say, oh well, it's a cult because they're making me take my shoes off. Or you could, so with that same definition, what if the restaurant that says no shoes, no shirt, no service? Are they a cult or do they have standards? And so the point I'm getting to with that is it just a cash grab for belts? We don't charge for belts, but is it a cash grab? Is it just something to get people to kind of dangle the carrot to get them coming along? And then what if low ranks start beating high ranks? How does that work with their promotion? What's your take on it? The belt system in general doesn't matter anymore.
Do belts matter?
Do they matter?
That is a pretty deep question.
What's your opinion on it?
My opinion is they matter at different times within that belt. Like they matter at different times within white to blue. So there's a space in there on how you're progressing, your training, et cetera, et cetera. So I think they do at certain times and they don't at certain times. And I know you have a lot of really, you can call them triggering questions for people on this subject, but at times they really do matter. And I think they do. And at times it does not matter.
Well, give me an example of a time where a belt does matter then.
You are a white belt who's been training for 2 years.
Okay.
And you have, let's say, 3 stripes.
Okay.
Let's go with 3 stripes, right?
Sure.
You have 3 stripes. You've been training for 2 years. As an instructor, I would be sick of looking at that belt. And
for 3 years?
We'll say 2.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll say 2 years, and they have 3 stripes. So, as an instructor, I don't want to see that on you anymore. It's been long enough that you've been here and been training, and for the person who's wearing the belt, I'm sure that they're like, that belt matters to them, and it's
the next, but the blue belt.
Yeah, that blue belt matters.
Okay. What's an example of when a belt does not matter?
When you first move into that belt, when you first move into like a blue belt or a purple belt or a brown belt, it shouldn't matter when you're a freshly promoted student. The promotion shouldn't matter. Black belt, when you get your first stripe and your second stripe, I personally, I still get excited about my first stripe, my second stripe, and on and on and on.
On black?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Well, just because.
Well, for me, it's a reminder that I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Just like any obstacles that students have, we have them ourselves.
Sure. Yeah.
You have your kids pulling on you, you have your wife pulling on you, you have your job pulling on you. So it's really not any easier for you or I to continue to train than it is from a white belt all the way to brown. It's we have the same obstacles that prevent us from training. So for me, that's a reminder of staying on the mat, coaching, and playing my part in giving back to jiu-jitsu and doing what I need to do to get promoted. So it's just it validates that I'm still here. I'm not knocked out of the game yet.
So I've got a unique, and I get that. I'm not. I think there is something really cool, like when people get their 5th, 6th, 7th degrees in black. What that's saying is you've committed to a craft, and it's kind of that artistic aspect of it. But I would say belts don't matter in terms of, I don't look at belts in terms of technical ability at all. Very little. I would say some, right? Because, and I take a little bit more, I think belts, maybe I should rewind. Belts have value. I think maybe the better question is, do belts have value? And they do. They do have value. Because one, I think like a basic human emotional need is growth, feeling like you're growing in something, and when people like if there's imagine playing a video game where there is no levels. There's no way to build up your armor. There's no next boss to beat. Or you're going to a job and there's a glass ceiling. There's no room for improvement. I think as Napoleon said, men will fight long and hard for a few pieces of colored fabric. And he was, he's probably not the best example of like leadership there, because he would just send people off. At one point, I think he said, he's like, you can't beat me. I burn through 25,000 men a month or something. Like men were like dollars to him. And but that still plays a part. They still have value in people's heads. Now, there's to play the devil's advocate on the other side is, well, if I'm a white belt wrestler and I come in and I sub your blue belt, or I control and dominate your blue belts, well, then that blue belt holds no weight. That's a different conversation. Do belts properly represent grappling acumen? And so that's a totally different conversation. And I think from there you need to compare apples to apples. If you come in and we've got one of our blue belts, and I'm thinking of not Josh Johnson, Woodcocks, Josh Woodcocks, right? He's like 120 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's in his 40s.
Yeah, and he's in his 40s. He's
late 30s or early 40s.
Yeah, and he's got a little bit of physical restriction, I think, and so. You put him up against a 23-year-old D1 wrestler who's a white belt, just put a gi on or whatever. His goal.
You could argue that at that weight, you could put them up against a 20-year-old like high school or college wrestler.
Yeah. So, but even I think that question is not based in good faith, because you want to compare wrestlers to jiu-jitsu. It's grappling. Like, you got 4 years of wrestling. Like, you got a lot of grappling under your belt, And I think Faraz Zahabi was, or maybe he was quoting Hajar. Like, a blue belt is someone you can defend yourself against. You can submit a bigger, stronger opponent who's untrained. That's the blue belt definition. I'd probably tend to agree with that.
That's fair.
Someone who's untrained. And Josh would dominate someone who's untrained. Untrained, it wouldn't even be fair.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be fair. And so I think they hold value, but I don't place huge levels of. They're far more subjective than everyone always wants, like an objective goal. It's far more subjective because it has to be by nature. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be. I guess you could have, because if you make it objective, then to make it objective, what do you truly have to put in place? Some form of a test, right? Well, no, it's a test. Like, I don't want it to test me. Okay, well, then it's going to be subjective. Because either the test is going to be so restrictive, then some people just won't be able to do it, due to body type, styles, restrictions, whatever, or age. Or it's got to be subjective, which people don't like, because now you're doing it on a case-by-case basis. And that's the hardest part. It's easy to form a test and then say, do these things, but now everyone's just training for that test. Which is kind of backwards. And so I think it's a difficult thing. Do they have value? Yeah, but I'm not going to put like huge weight into them. I used to get like in my head about, if I'm a blue, I can't lose to a white belt. And if I'm a purple, I can't lose to a blue belt. And if it's always like this, defending your belt. And now I'm like, well, how are we doing? We bust it up?
We've got 2 comments from John Garner. Would you like me to read them to you?
In one moment. Yeah, I'll get to them in a second. So I think they hold value. I just don't think it's like, you got to be careful how much weight you put into them. What do you think?
I think if you sign up in martial arts today, everybody knows it's good for you. It's good for your mind, your body, sure. Right? And it's good for self-defense. But I think today, if somebody signs up in martial arts, like the man today, men or women and children today, they have a different type of physical and emotional posture, and like they're in a different place today than they were like 30 years ago, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. They're just naturally a little bit like tougher. They're a little bit more resilient. They're a little bit more
today.
Like no, back 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. So I think that you can't get away from that, and you have to like. They want immediate gratification, and they know it doesn't come, but immediate. But so if you can't give them immediate gratification, there has to be something like measurable. Yeah. Or a test, like you said, because we're different people and breed of humans today than we were just like 1 or 2 generations ago.
You know, I'm going to put a bookmark on that, because I think I'm going to put a bookmark on that. What's John got to say? Because I want to come back to that. I just don't want John to like leave a comment and then feel like we left him unread. What's
John Garner wrote, "Do belts matter? In a way, they do. In the Army, when we were doing our BJJ combatives, we saw black belts get absolutely waxed by guys off the street. It's a cool ceremonial thing and a symbol of accomplishment, but in reality, they only matter if the wearer holds the standards." And then he followed up after that.
Okay. I'm going to... I hope he's still listening. Go That's the Army. They have their own MMA grading system. There is no scenario. I refuse to believe there's a scenario in which a muggle came in and waxed a jiu-jitsu black belt. Like there's not. That didn't happen. Like but they have. I gotta look it up. Like
we've had dozens and dozens and dozens.
I can search if you'd like.
Yeah,
we've had dozens of people who have came in, actually male and female, that have done some type of grappling combatives in the Army, and there has not been one. There's not been one. This is from my personal experience, that has come into the gym and felt confident that what they took is going to help them when they walk into the gym. So it's very different. I don't know what it is that they do, but there's not one, and they feel like there's just missing so much. And it's a consolidated amount of information in a very short amount of time. And obviously, if you don't use it, you lose it. But in the Army and in a street fight, there's no rules.
They have their
There's
own.
none.
I had a guy come in one time, and I'd have to look. If you can search chat or whatever for Army MMA belt ranking, and I want to say it's like they have a black belt in combatives, like so it's a black belt in the Army combatives ranking system, which that I believe.
Let me give you an example, Coach.
Yeah, that I believe happened. There was not a jiu-jitsu black belt.
We had a blue belt.
Yeah.
That was in the he enlisted in the Army, in the military, and at blue belt he was. I'll just take the word that John used. He was dusting everybody. So at a blue belt, he went in and they asked him to start teaching the Army combatives. So and we're talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. We're a little bit more sport 1, self-defense 2.
Yeah.
So I think that, and then whoever this black belt is, you'd need more.
I think it's an MMA. Like what?
You need more information.
What do we find? Yeah, because
just remember there is a second comment from John Garner, which is also a paragraph. But what I found, I had to use ChatGPT because Google wasn't giving me a response. It said, "Could you clarify what you mean by Army's MMA belt ranking?" And then it followed by saying, "The U.S. Army's combative system, modern Army combatives, a military martial arts program belt rank system like the Marine Corps MCMAP, and then a gym organization that uses MMA belt." And then it followed up by saying, "The U.S. Army doesn't officially use a traditional belt ranking system in its modern Army combatives program, MACP. The Marine Corps, however, use the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, MCMAP, which does have a belt progression: tan, gray, green, brown, black."
Why does the military even honestly, why do they do that? If you put a soldier in front of us, they're going to have a gun, probably like some type of long range gun. They'll probably have a short range gun. They'll probably have a handgun, and they'll probably have stuff equivalent to grenades. I'm sure they're not big like they used to be. They could probably have grenades the size of
Why do they do combatives, or why do they have the ranking system? Well,
both.
What was it like? One of the most dangerous weapons on the planet is a Marine with a knife. I mean, if they're shooting long term, then fine. But there's still very much a time in which hand to hand combat comes into play. You know, and
today I think it's way less likely than at any other time.
Yeah.
In history.
John is he could speak to. I mean, he doesn't need to. John, you don't need to share the details you share. He's a 100% disabled combat vet. He was in during the Blitz, which was the equivalent of the Tet offensive in Afghanistan, to where they're going through and clearing out houses, and he, I mean, obviously they used firearms, but they very much hand to hand was involved as well, and I think it's an extra tool. Like you have to, you don't want to be. Let's say someone jumps out at you and the hops out behind the corner. Because I think it's even we talked about the 21-foot rule. If someone's within 21 feet, your weapons are useless. They're going to get to you sooner than not. And so it's just another tool. Why they have the ranking system? Well, because order. I think they're very much it's the hierarchy of the order and the, that's their thing.
Let me read out the rest of these comments.
Is it a sonnet or is it like are they shorter?
They're short paragraphs.
All right, cool. Let's see what we got.
This was the second follow-up to that first one. Also, some people take to the idea that once you get your belt, like the black belt, people think they have reached the top and become overconfident in thinking they're best of the best. However, a black belt as BJJ is completely different from a black belt in karate and so on. Then he said, I see your point though, Dave. They teach us that because we did go hand to hand in Iraq. And then he followed his final comment saying, we went hand to hand in Iraq and in BJJ.
Oh, it's Iraq, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And the BJJ came in handy with the streets to street fighting.
Yeah, of course. And Jerry, I've got one. Jerry Cummins says, nice 231 hat, coach, which is our affiliate, Alvarez affiliate in Muskegon.
Thanks, brother.
So let's, all right, I've got a couple question here. White belt versus black belt mindset. What changes and what shouldn't as you move up? So I'll just piggyback right off. I mean, I felt it was like I was a white belt all over again. And the more now I go into, I'm very intentional about, like, I would get the shiny object syndrome a lot coming through the ranks. Look at this new Berimbolo, and I'm not dogging anything, right? But like, it's easy to get shiny object syndrome in anything you're doing, whether it's your work or your family or your hobbies or your fitness or whatever. Like I had a good close guard, and I would much rather bolt on techniques to make and I was having this conversation with Delilah. She's expressed frustration. She's like, I'm just having, I'm getting like, I'm having fearful. I don't trust my technique is essentially what she said. How do you have confidence in your technique? I'd much rather get far fewer techniques, like on two hands, and just have them so deep to where like, I'm like, all right, Keanu, Mo, we're going to start a match, and I'm gonna arm drag you and take your bag from my close guard. Like, that's going to happen this match, and you won't be able to stop me. Like, that's what to the point Gordon used to do. I mean, he'd hand a blank envelope of how he was going to finish the match, which is that is great. Like, when I first saw that, I was like, that's unbelievable. But it's not believable, because if you make that, if you know every single variable of every outcome up until that point, you don't need to know the rest, because they never get outside of that groove of those techniques. So what changed? I mean, I'll look at techniques and I see that, like, that's cool. I've focused way more on the principles and the ergonomics and the body mechanics of why things work. Whereas before, as white belts, I could show you my notes. I would literally write down, like, take notes on how to do a move, but it's just one move, and without understanding the principles of it. So, like, if we varied outside of that move at all, like, it just disintegrated. So I felt like I started over at black belt, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Alvarez said one time this was at brown belt. He said, when you're lost and you're stuck and you don't know what to do or where to go, and you feel like you're confused like a white belt again, that means you're ready for black. And
Alvarez said that?
Yeah, he told me that at brown belt because, even
I don't know what that means. How when you don't know what to do or where to go?
Like you feel like you have all this information and you feel like you're kind of stuck again. You're trying to apply like different positions, different angles, different techniques. Same technique, maybe you're applying it as a larger person, as a smaller person, as a flexible person. So at black belt, you have so much more knowledge, and then by that time, you'll have people that have been training for years around you, and if you don't have a clear, concise, I'm gonna go like you said, I'm gonna pull the guard. Going to arm drag you. I'm going to take your back, and there's nothing you can do.
Now, for the record, I said I'm going to get to guard. I didn't say I was pulling guard. I'm just playing.
We're gonna have to go back and check that, but
I say I'm gonna arm drag you from guard. I'm gonna try and get to the takedown, but depending on how that goes, I can see within 10 years I will be doing more guard pulling than takedowns. I can see that. I'll concede that right now. Like I won't be able to be, or it's gonna be a lot different. That's interesting. I didn't know he said that.
Yeah. So that made me feel better at Brown, because if I needed to, I would know I would choose one or two takedowns that I'm gonna get the fight to the floor. And I would choose one or two submissions, and I'm going to get those one or two. Like that simplifies my job. But when you have so much information in there, and you're wearing the hat of a coach, you could easily be like, man, there's so much.
Yeah.
And for me, my personal progression right now is to be able to teach any position for any age, any body style, and so it's not about, my learning is still like this. I just want more information. It's not like I want to take this little X or single X and kind of work off that position. I want more information that can apply to everybody.
So I think even that's an interesting concept because Delilah and I were talking specifically. I said find the technique that fits well with your body type, your preference.
Yeah.
And be able to get back to there. I said De La Riva. If you guys ask me about De La Riva, I'm gonna give you an elevator pitch on it, a few principles, but then I'm gonna defer you to Coach Mo or someone else who plays it deep. They have a deep understanding and success with it.
Yeah.
Do you think that every person has the capacity to be proficient at every position in jiu-jitsu?
No.
Yeah.
Not even me. I can't. But
because there's so many variables to it, man. There's age and especially physical restrictions. We talk about it a lot, but I wish people had warned me more in my 20s. Man, I wouldn't have listened. I'd have been like, that's you. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have listened.
I will say to some advice for those people who are training, when you feel like you're stuck, right? And things are not working.
Yeah.
You kind of know what you want to do and you know where you want to go, but things just aren't coming together. You're not able to get to the end result, whether it be passing, a sweep, or a submission.
Yeah.
From my experience in coaching and working with so many students, jiu-jitsu is a physical sport.
Sure.
It's physical, and when you have somebody trying to stop what you're doing, for me, one of the answers for those people who are stuck is be a little bit more physical. Because we really forget the difference when you're training and trying to do something between, okay, I'm drilling and working with my partner, and now I'm trying to execute my move, and I can't do anything because they're stopping me. And so the answer is, when you're stuck, be a little bit more physical, because when we're trying something new.
When you say maybe you should elaborate, because when you say physical, I'm hearing use more muscle. I know it's not what you're saying, but that's what. So just to clarify,
I mean more fast twitch muscle fibers, if that's what you want to call it. I don't want to say muscle and then throw technique out the window, but I can get my De La Riva hook and sweep, but instead of like going to a different position, sometimes you have to be a little bit stubborn to prove to yourself that this works. Yeah. And I think that when they're first trying something new, it happens often like, man, I just can't get it. I can't get it. And I'd say 80% of the time, it's be a little bit more physical.
I do,
because we're talking about a fight.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a difference between, I compare wrestlers to jiu-jitsu guys a lot, and wrestlers, like when you see them just warming up, like they're going fast. They're going fast, they're going aggressively, and jiu-jitsu guys, they place so much emphasis on the technique to where they don't think they need to add some power behind it.
The time is different also. It's like they're what is it, 1 minute blitzes for wrestling? They're 1 minute matches. And then I think
wrestling?
I think high school is 1 minute.
Oh, I don't know about
college.
I don't know about high
school. How many
school.
minutes are the rounds in wrestling, Keanu? High school, college, and Olympics.
They have 1 minute rounds?
Yeah, they have like 3 of them.
That sounds extremely short.
Specifically high school?
High school, college, and...
yeah, I think I'm just watching the NCAA on Flow and that. Yeah, I think they're longer. But, yeah, I understand 10-minute rounds. You're going to go a little bit longer, but just how they even drill. It's just more physical. What did it say?
High school wrestling folk style matches consist of 3 2-minute periods.
Okay.
While college folk style matches have 1 3-minute period followed by 2 2-minute periods.
Okay. All right. So it's still shorter. Yeah, it's still very much shorter. I got one more question before we start doing pulling up a couple videos off of Reddit. It says, is belt promotion too fast or too slow in modern jiu-jitsu? Depends who's promoting, I guess.
Is it too fast? Yeah, I guess
it depends who's promoting. I think overall, I think to add some context to that question is, how would a modern purple belt hold up against a classic purple belt? And I think there's no competition there. I don't think there's any competition. What do you think? I don't think there's any I don't think there's any competition between you put like a purple belt today against a purple belt of the 90s. And just straight jiu-jitsu. If it's combat jiu-jitsu, like the self-defense, and they're doing heel kicks from guard and things, like now you're on your way to MMA, but I don't think there's any competition.
I would agree, but I'd also argue that the purple belt in the 90s is way, way tougher than the purple belt today. Way tougher. Their mentality, like even if they were just training jiu-jitsu, like those days people were walking into gyms and like they were doing trials to come and challenge you, be like, I don't think this stuff works or it's not real.
Yeah, it was a lot.
And white, blue, and purple were representing for those people, and there's a different type of mentality in the 90s where like they were just mentally tougher. The mindset of a martial artist was deeper to his roots then than it is today.
Yeah, I don't have enough context to. I don't really have enough context to speak into jiu-jitsu in the 90s. I was playing Pokemon in the 90s. So I wasn't doing jiu-jitsu or martial arts or anything. I was at, closest thing I came to was accumulating Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan. Like that's all I was doing. But when you talk to these guys, I do agree because, well, right, wrong, or indifferent, like it was like a fight club. It was like you come in and they would bust you up. And so, but if you stayed by nature, if you didn't get injured or quit your first 3 months, by nature you were already you were kind of cut from the cloth that was going to stay anyway. So it was like, did the jiu-jitsu make them tougher? Or did the jiu-jitsu just filter out the weaker guys? So by default, it only attracted the tougher guys. the result was the same.
Yeah, I think it did a little. That's a good point. I think it did a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Jiu-Jitsu made him tougher, and it filtered out. But you know what? We talk about all the time how hard and tough training martial arts, especially jiu-jitsu, is like. Even though it's tough, if you're a beginner in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you have to remember that your partner is picking you up and shaking your hand afterwards. Your partner's helping you. Like, even though it's tough, you are getting support from that person and from that culture.
Sure.
So I don't think it's just the tough. I think it's the resilient people, because you have like non-athletic people that start jiu-jitsu and have started way back then and today, that move up in the ranks, that stick to it, that become very, very tough. But they weren't tough by nature. They didn't have a tough mindset or tough mentality back then, but they knew there's something good here, and they were persistent, and they were in a good atmosphere and had a good support system.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and change the next section of the show. We're gonna do some. We've got a couple posts, some commentaries online, social media. I guess we're counting Reddit. Are we counting Reddit as social media?
I don't really use Reddit, but I feel like
you're not missing anything.
I feel like I see it everywhere. Like when you Google stuff.
Yeah, Reddit's Reddit. I mean, it's one of those. It's been around forever, and it's just popping up again. So. Have you ever had to use, this was 4 months ago, technical deal, don't know what that means. Have you ever had to use jiu-jitsu outside the mats? Was in a restaurant where things were escalating, unruly customers, and the owner and I had a mad thought that I might have to get up and do something. Ouch, I hate this next line. Do something, pull guard, and see where it goes, obviously. Well, I want to throw out this entire thing now. And in the end, things turned out fine, and the wrong, and whatever. That's a sentence fragment. So my question to you guys, have you ever had to use jiu-jitsu in the real world, and what happened? Fabio 2022 says, I used hip escapes to adjust my body in bed. And then one time I slipped on a wet floor and did a break fall. Yeah, I mean, a break fall actually is knowing how to fall will save you. Like if you're talking, like you're it actually will, or front roll even.
Yeah.
Knowing how to front roll will save you. I also hip escape out of bed sometimes, just to switch, because you kind of sink in. I've never really had to use jiu-jitsu. Like grappling, I've never had to use it. I mean, I had to break up a fight at youth group one time. That was pretty much it. How about you?
No, I've never had to use jiu-jitsu outside of jiu-jitsu.
Did you see, this is an off-topic thing. Dude, did you see that stabbing at Kroger right by the gym?
I heard about it.
Southgate. Like, I gotta move, dog. I mean, the gym probably stays there, but like...
Well, was there a video of it?
No.
I thought you said, did you see it?
I mean, it's like a local news. Like, it made like...
The alleged suspect, I believe, is a Kroger employee.
Victim.
I thought he was an employee.
No, the victim. So this is the downriver, downriver news here. This is the grapevine. So the guy, so the article says that the news is saying it was over a woman. My sister goes into Sherwin-Williams to grab some paint right off Eureka there, and the guy, and they're just like by cooler talk at the local Sherwin-Williams in Southgate, and his girlfriend works at Kroger with the dude. Well, the dude wouldn't stop catcalling the guy's girl in front of him. Well, one thing led to another, and of course they're not going to report on this, right?
No, it says it was a catcalling.
Oh, yeah, they actually they included it, eh? Because it wasn't released at this point.
Yeah, Southgate Kroger. After a deadly stabbing at a Southgate Kroger on Tuesday afternoon, a 33-year-old employee at the grocery store killed a 23. 33-year-old, sorry. A 33-year-old employee at the grocery store killed a 23-year-old after the two got into a dispute over a woman.
So the 33-year-old did work there. I had the suspect was that you were right. Yeah, you were right. Okay, so the suspect was, but dude, that's close to home. That's a mile from the gym. Yeah, so the point being is it's way too. First off, 33 and 23. I have nothing to talk to a 23-year-old. I mean, like, I shouldn't say that. But, like, my conversations with a 23-year-old would not be much different than that of a high schooler. Like, hey, how's everything going, young man? Like, what am I going to talk to you about? Like, what am I actually going to talk to you about? And then, like, somehow you're trying to compete for my girl. Like, I'm secure. Like, Amanda wants nothing to do with a 23-year-old. Like, she has her own children. She doesn't need one more. You know, and they're just easily avoidable. Too much of the time that they're easily avoidable. You said you've never had to use it because you probably avoided it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Keanu, you've probably never had to use jiu-jitsu. Hey, you seem way too smart and bright to not even be in that situation.
I only got close one time.
Was that at the theater?
Yes.
Yeah, when the guy smacked his kid up.
No, not. I didn't do jiu-jitsu at that time. But there was a time where, very brief, I got called on the radio. There was a spilt icy by the restrooms, so I went over there, and there was a guy, and he was standing, and there was an icy cup on the floor and icy everywhere. So I immediately sweep up the icy before it melts.
Of course.
And I'm like, cool, we're done here. And then around the corner came a lady with her 2 kids. And then the guy, while I was sweeping it up, immediately just mouthed off on her. And her 2 kids were like maybe 7, 5 years old.
Wow.
And he was mouthing off on her, and he was like saying some wild stuff. It's just like, you dumb bitch. Like, you left me with this in my hands. Of course I'm going to drop it, you dumb bitch. He was just like going off wild. And I was like, hey. You know,
that is.
They encouraged de-escalation. So like I tried. Yeah. I was like, hey man, listen, I can't tell you what to say, but you can't say it in here. Like, it's got to go outside. This is a family space. And he was just...
I love how Keanu's entire goal with everything, even when that guy hit the kid, he's like, your mob can take it just outside. Get outside so it's not on my shift. Like, go outside.
Well, the only time... Well, I was doing jiu-jitsu maybe for 4 months, so I don't know a lot at the time. But we had just done... I'd done a lot of judo takedowns with Coach Jabril. And I got close because he's mouthing off on this lady and he's mouthing off on the kids. And I was like, listen, dude, it's got to stop. I'm calling security. And so the mom put the concessions for the kid. It was like a popcorn on the edge of like the trash. You know, the trash cans at Cinemark South End Center. And he just got super irked. And I was like, man, you got to stop. And then he looked at the kid in the eye and he took his hand and he just pushed the kid's popcorn like this. Like the most pathetic maneuver. Just looked the kid in the eye and went, what you gonna do? And then just walked away. And there was a moment there where I was like, yo, I don't know where you as a grown adult feel the confidence to do something like that in front of another grown adult.
Strangers to each other?
No. It seemed the kids did not reflect his complexion. So I'm going to assume that they were not his kids. And he was probably a boyfriend of some sort. And unfortunately, in those situations,
the kids did not reflect. They were different. They were different skin color. Like, yeah. but that's Keanu's PC way of saying.
Well, I'm just trying to be polite, right? And it was clear that he was not the father, and I could tell there was some contention. And usually in these situations, women they put themselves with partners that aren't the most, polite. And I think he just felt confident doing that in front of them. He just looked the kid in the face and did this and pushed the kid's popcorn in, and the kid starts freaking out. And I just looked at him, and I was thinking, like, man, I don't know enough to have confidence to do something.
Yeah.
But this is a moment where I wish I could do something. Yeah. And then he walked away. But I was like, whoa.
And those are the type of losers that carry weapons because they can't fight, though. So you avoided. You dodged a bullet there.
The closest I ever got.
Quite possibly, literally. All right. If you're listening and you have had to use jiu-jitsu in a street fight, or for self-defense or anything like that, go ahead and put it in the comments. I want to hear about it. We want to share. Dude, I'm working on getting a call-in number, like Dave Ramsey, where people can call in. The issue is we got to vet it because you could just have anyone call up on the show and that could go south real quick. I mean, people are maniacs. All right, so I've got here we have is this, what do I got? I got to share this. A BJJ instructor in Prague. Let me see. Can I share this? I'm going to put this on the screen for you. I don't know if it'll show. Can you see this, Muhammad? Can you see? I'm going to try and put it. Yeah, you can see this. So a guy, he's confronting him about a fake blue belt. All right, can you, and you can probably hear it in your headphones, right? Yeah.
I contacted Andy Roberts. Yes. You're not a blue belt.
You're not blue. You lied. You're not the blue belt.
No, I'm sorry. I'm a blue belt, to be honest. I'm not high up. No, but you're not a blue belt.
What does he say there?
No, but you're not a blue belt. He said you're not a blue belt.
You're not a blue belt.
Take a picture of me holding a belt. You look like a promoted or something. Man, you're a liar. You lied to me. I'm not tolerate that. I don't want to join you. I contacted him. He told me you're not a blue belt. He's very upset that you pretend to be a blue belt. It was
I'm gonna pause right there. I could tell, but I mean, how much? All right, I got two questions. Number one, who's lying about who's like if you're gonna fake a belt, wouldn't you want to fake to be a black belt? Or maybe he's like, no, it's gonna be too obvious, but I think I can pass as a blue. Like,
how is it even possible? Don't you guys pick that up like right away when you roll with them?
A black belt? Yeah, I mean, a black belt, you're going to be able to know. I mean, again, even that, like, there's variances, right? But, like, a blue belt, that's what I'm saying. Who cares? Like, I mean, I kind of care. But, like, if someone's like, hey, I got my blue belt from this dude, I'm not. I mean, if it's very obvious, like if you don't know any of the fundamentals, right, then I'm going to be like, who'd you get your blue belt from? And I don't know if, like, I don't know if I'm going to dive into, like, we've never encountered that, so I haven't really had to, like, if if they're like wearing a 4-stripe blue belt and they're just awful, then I'm gonna be like, dude, it's probably a closed door meeting, like, hey, where'd you get the belt from? Because I mean, I'm sure you see there's a difference even between you and our white belts. So do you want me to call, like I would ask some questions. I wouldn't, like, whatever happened here. But that seems like kind of like a petty belt to get, like, and exposing a fake blue belt. What do you think, dude?
I have of all the people who've came to Metro from another school or moved in town, I've verified every single one, and I would not. Yeah, I would definitely have to do that. Definitely.
This guy said.
I'll tell you why. Go ahead.
This guy. I can't. He says new fear unlocked. Visiting a gym on vacation and being so bad you get accused of lying. Oh, that's crazy. That did happen to me. It didn't happen to me like so I was in Myrtle Beach, and yeah, imagine he's legit makes the call though, bro. It's Steve from Steve's Gym. That's funny. So I was in Myrtle Beach, overall really welcoming school, and I'm like, hey, I always message ahead of time. My name's David. I'm a black belt. Like, do you allow drop-ins? Because I don't want to just show up with a black belt. People get into it, so I try to, like, set it. So we partner up. They're like, hey, sweet, happy to have you. I partner with they put me with one of the white belts, so, like, I'm helping coach this white belt the whole time, and then he, like, tried to kill me, and I was like, okay, so I'm kind of like, I'm not going to bust up one of their white belts, so, like, I'm, like, kind of just flowing through some positions and staying on top, and, and then we got, it slowly got up and up and up, and then one of their brown belts who had an attitude, like, he, like, he and I both we start standing, and he just starts throwing, like, a heavy club, like, the heaviest club to break me, and I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna. And now we're like the 4th or 5th round in, so everyone, like, there's like 2/3 of the room is sitting out, and it's just me and this, like, kind of pissy brown belt. He didn't say. I walk up to him, I was like, "What's up, man? My name's David," and he looks at me. He's like, and just like motions me over, and I was like, "Fuck this guy." I can't.
Brazilian or
non-Brazilian? He's just a pissy white dude. So he throws this club, and I was like, okay, and I just think of Carl's line, like, you wrestle like a chump, they're going to treat you like a chump. So then I start, like, snapping Russians immediately, and like, we just got, just a hard match, start to finish. And then, I was like, thanks, man. And it was funny is, like, afterwards, like, when I, like, started working with him, like, it was, like, this unspoken respect. It's like, cool, man, thanks for the role. I was like, well, you don't have to be a jerk. Like you could have been like, hey, are you cool if we go a little bit better? You don't have to be a jerk about it. Anyway, I'm getting changed, whatever. And Mindy was training with us at the time. She dropped in with there too, and she's like, "Yeah, that another guy, not the guy I rolled with, was like, I don't know where that guy got his black belt from. You know, like just like run, you know, jabber jaw in their mouth." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm here on vacation with my family, and the worst thing I could do is come in and try to beat everyone in the road. That's why visiting gyms out of town, it's like kind of, especially you get higher rank. It's just kind of like, you know, everyone's got an opinion, something to say, and." That was like one of the weirdest experiences. But when I was in where was it, Marquette, I trained and they were really cool up there, you know, Lake Effect Jiu-Jitsu. So, but that was the funniest comment, being so bad, because it does look like who's checking out the blue belt, you know. So you verified every blue belt, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, did you call Hoist to verify the brown belts?
They came through you.
Well, yeah, that's true. I took their word for it. I haven't got Hoist's number. Let me call up Hoist Gracie and be like, "Hey, Hoist, can you verify these?" All right, you ready for a reaction? I'm gonna try and put this one on the screen. It's not gonna have audio. It'll have audio for our guests, but not for our. Okay, so this one is viewer discretion is advised, y'all, on this one. So, is it on the screen yet? Hold up, nah, I got a screen share. There's a lot of tech. Westland Podcast Room is where we want to put this to. You getting that static? I'm sorry, dude. Am I off?
I don't know. I'm plugging it closer.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead. Ruh-roh. I'm gonna go ahead and show this. Here we are. Got it. And you ready, Mo?
Yes, sir.
So you got this clean. Boom. So right away, it's a tough takedown. This so homeboy wrestles right away. And he's rocks him. They're jogging off, and he's got the rear naked here, and I'm not mad about the rear naked. I mean, you can tell this is a rowdy scene. He's smiling like a villain the whole time. This is the part right there is the part I got beef with. And honestly, I think the scrawny white dude there might be facing charges.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You can't just let the guy, we're going to run it back. You can't just.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Please. Oh my god.
That's a long way to hit hit the concrete, dude. I mean, imagine just falling forward and hitting the concrete. And then, yeah, you got some hussy helping him up. Yeah, I mean, this tells me everything I need. I mean, this scene is a scene I would never be at. For the right, like you got a bunch of 12-year-olds with 21-year-olds in what appears to be some type of bar scene late at night. Like I wouldn't be here. Yeah, and everyone's like, "Yeah, I'm out." So, wow. I think so. Number one, I think he's. Here we're gonna just. Yeah.
Going to jail.
Cool. I think he's gonna be facing charges. I mean, I really do. I think.
Was it self-defense? I mean, what was?
There comes a point though, because he's obviously very trained. I mean, go back to this. I mean, that's a clean double leg. And I'd love to see the entry though. Oh, see, dude, he's just this alone. Yeah, he came around. Mat return.
Then he picks it up again. Right?
He's also standing on the curb. Yeah. So he's a few inches higher. So to lift and elevate him because he's higher than the guy with the clothes on, it takes a lot more explosive movement to do. So he's definitely have some training.
So, I mean, what do you that's not what jiu-jitsu, the title jiu-jitsu is inapplicable in the street. What's your take on this, man? Like, how would you rate his jiu-jitsu? And then two, obviously, no one's condoning his behavior, but we don't know the circumstances, right? I mean, if a guy pulled a knife, if a guy pulled a knife at me, then that's the reaction. But I don't think that's what happened here. Looks like a couple guys
we'll go back to where he's choking him.
We're gonna put. I gotta share it for our viewers at home, There you go. I want them to see what I'm seeing. So we've got. Yeah, it's not the.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's obviously, before he was on one knee, or even right now, from a jiu-jitsu perspective, the guy with no clothes on, no t-shirt, he doesn't, his right leg is behind.
Yeah.
Behind there. So what a trained person would do at this point is keep his hands exactly where they are, right there, and the guy with the jeans move his hip and say left hip, left butt out and facing towards the car, and at that point he's going to lose his leverage because we're moving away from the guy with the shirt on his hips, and at that point, you know, he's going to have to let go, and if he falls on the floor, he's falling right into a half guard because he moved his butt and his hips out of there. So yeah, twisting would definitely twisting out and turning essentially into a half guard, and just falling on the floor.
I mean,
yeah, now you're in an attacking position.
It's obvious that the guy on bottom had very little to no training, but
it's hard to see because, well, yeah, I mean, and it happens so
I mean,
quickly.
even if you're getting thrown, I mean, this is tough to recover from. I'm not dogging this,
Yeah.
right? That yeah, that's like even the fact that he went to go push himself up, like it just shows
Yeah.
the little
That's
training
another
as
good point.
opposed to rolling. Now you're facing I'm getting to a guard. Or
Yeah, you
something.
know what, Coach? You think about that. In a street fight,
Yeah.
if you don't know anything, look at this image right here.
Yeah.
If the guy on bottom just rolls over to his left side,
Yep.
and
Right,
you
yeah.
could just bring your knees up to your butt,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah,
start
yeah.
keeping them away that way.
Yeah, and so you know they. I'm gonna call. I mean, this guy's. I'm gonna say this guy's a pretty seasoned grappler of some description, but he's. I bet there's a manhunt for him. I mean, because you can't just bounce the dude's head off the mat like that. You know, they're not gonna put up with that very well. So
Yeah, if he died, that's an easy.
Can you? And that's not.
Involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah, and that's not out of the realm of possibility that he dies or has brain damage. Maybe he's got
Yeah.
whatever. And then we got one more video, which is why we avoid violence here, guys. Like just avoid it at all costs. Like I would imagine at some point someone started mouthing off, jabber-jawing, and you were like, you know what, I'm good here. Even if I'm a spectator, like I'm like, let's it's time to leave. You know, it's time for me to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I don't want to be around
Breaking
it.
up a fight is not always the right thing to do.
Yeah, I don't want to be around it. I don't want it to get contagious. People turn into a mob or whatever. Do we have any comments in the meantime? Well, we got one more.
So we've got a few from John Garner. We have one on YouTube. The YouTube commenter said, "How would you even aid someone after that? Obviously an ambulance, but damn."
Yeah, the Colin. Yeah, that's Colin trains with us.
Is that Colin Miracle?
Colin on. Colin on. Yeah, is so he. So I back in my youth, I lost sufficient to say I was walking home from my boy's house in the trailer park and I lost consciousness, and but I hit shin first, not head first. But yeah, I still have stitches, scar, busted open. I'm grateful I just kind of like fell and then hit shin first, split it open. But front skull, like I don't know how much of it was on his face, nose, whatever when he hit, but front skull, I mean, that's I can't just imagine all of the weight of like a swinging axe or swinging sledgehammer. That is to just let him fall, and it's very clearly he's trained. You know, like I think that's the that will work against this guy in the courts. Like they're gonna say you trained, and you know, how would you? Yeah, I mean, you get an ambulance, and that's how you help him. So this is a slightly different video. To me, it's a little bit funnier. I haven't watched the whole thing, but World Star videos are always great. This is going to be on the screen here for you too, Coach, if you want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I think there's language in this one, guys. So I can't really mute it. It's World Star being World Star, but so okay, we're gonna break it down. 2010. This is an old one. Yeah, I've seen this one before. Back when World Star still was the thing. 3:16 a.m. That tells me everything I need to know right now. Like you're at a fast food restaurant at 3:16. Mo, you're in the restaurant. You see this. What are you doing?
I mean, it depends on my mood.
It depends if you placed your order already. If your food's coming out.
If I place my order, I'm not going anywhere. You know me and food. If my order has been placed, I'm waiting till the police get there. I want my food and preferably not a refund. Oh man,
this guy.
It's time to eat. It's time to eat.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, so here we go. There's his boy. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing this now, like a much 22-year-old me. His boy's like, yo, we gotta go. What is this? Whataburger? Is that where they're at? This looks down south. That orange is this Whataburger?
They have good burgers.
Yeah. So we got. Is that busting up on you? All right. Yeah.
I just muted him until he's ready.
Cool. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. I mean, unfortunately, this guy is, I hope he's wearing an Affliction t-shirt. That would just be the best. Like
what t-shirt?
It's an Affliction t-shirt. It looks like he is. He's just walking, he's a walking stereotype. Chubby, like chubby basketball clothes, clearly out of shape, has no self-control. I hope it's an Affliction t-shirt, dude. Like I can't see. Are those? The title of this video is it says, "In the land of the untrained, the man with one jiu-jitsu lesson is king," and you're gonna see why in a second.
Is this guy gonna die?
No. All right, so you're seeing this interaction, and if you haven't ordered food, are you leaving? If you haven't ordered food, you were in line, and this guy was in front of you.
Depends how hungry I am.
Okay.
That's the real answer.
That's an Affliction shirt, dude. That's an Affliction t-shirt. Like, I swear.
Is that a band?
No, an Affliction it was kind of like a tap out shirt, right? Like, it's always the guys with tap out shirts that they just don't train. They watch a lot of UFC, but they don't train.
Brandon. It is a tap out shirt.
It's a tap out.
Whoa!
Yes.
Brilliant.
I couldn't see it till just now. This is the best. This is the best. Okay, so it's a tap out shirt.
He's also wearing like some sort of
Mardi Gras beads or something. Like what?
It
like,
looks Asian. Like it's got like some emerald green like figures on it.
Oh my goodness, this is the best. All right, so we've got. Hang on, I lost it. Yeah, here we go.
Like a dragon warrior necklace.
Yeah.
Fuck you, and fuck you and your cheeseburger, motherfucker.
Yeah, he's getting rowdy.
Come get some. I will beat you all over those French fries, boys.
I'll beat you over those French fries.
You fuck with the wrong motherfucker.
This guy's just everything. Like he's got no. Look at the like.
It's a long video.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'll whoop you in this restaurant. Don't fuck.
It's built like a gopher, man.
Look at him, jeez.
What is he doing?
And his pants fall down. His pants. His bare cheeks are.
Yeah, he's like. Is he not wearing underwear or something?
He was no underwear.
Tie your pants.
He was a commander.
Pants on the ground. Uh-oh.
The easiest escape ever.
Every white belt. Oh my gosh. Does he have the Americana? Does he have the Americana? Oh, he's got the Americana.
Do you have permission to break his arm at that moment?
I don't. I'm not going to. All right, Mo. Yeah. So, I mean, we don't need to rate the jiu-jitsu. That's pretty awful. But but hey, he got on top though. I mean, he led.
So let me ask you a question.
Yep.
You see that video? Mm-hmm. It goes posted online. Mm-hmm. It's one of your students.
Who is?
The guy with the green shorts, the loudmouth.
The loudmouth is one of my students. The loudmouth
is one of your students, and we could probably assume that he's plastered. He's totaled, right?
I agree. Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so one of your students does something like that, gets recorded on video, and you see it. Mm-hmm. What do you do? Say he's a white belt.
I would say if he's a white belt, I know that everyone wants the answer to be like, you're immediately kicked out of the gym. And he probably would be kicked out of the gym. But it would also, I mean, for sure, it's a closed door meeting. What happened? And if he was just blackout drunk, I can't 100% hold that against him. You know, I can't 100% hold that against him.
I'm sorry, is this the one we just saw or the one before that?
Yeah. No, the one no, we're talking about if one of my students was the
if the burger guy
was the burger guy, like saying I'm gonna beat you up.
Okay, so not the one who actually got him to the ground, not the scrawny guy.
No, he's talking about the tap out guy. Yeah.
Okay, I see.
I mean it's a bad look. Period. It's a bad look. What are you kicking him out?
You know, it depends how they came in.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it depends what initially when they first joined the team, how they came in, how, how his contribution to the team is he training or whatever. Like, I think I'd need a little bit more info, but if I knew the person and I had a relationship with them, I definitely, it would definitely be a conversation because, like you see tap out all over there. What if that said Metro? Or what if that said,
if that said Metro,
school owner's name.
I'm way more upset at his jiu-jitsu, demonstration than I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, I think I would probably, I don't know, closed door meeting, see how remorseful he is, public apology.
Public apology for me would be like a big one.
Yeah, public apology.
But at the same time, they are adults. But yeah, like anytime you do anything and it gets caught in the public eye or on camera or whatever, they're going to say, what's his name? Where does he work? Who's his family? Who's his network? I mean, that becomes a reflection of everybody that you're associated with.
Remember that I was joking with my sisters when they how do I put this? When that trans group called up the gym to get me fired. Mm-hmm. Remember that when they called me up trying to get me fired? And you're like, well, we're going to take this very seriously. I'll make sure this gets to the right people. Because I told my son he's a boy, not a girl. But yeah, I mean, they go for your livelihood over. It's 3 a.m. and you're like, you want your burger because you're drunk. I don't think that's worth it's unacceptable behavior. But I think mistakes happen. He also looked young. I mean, he looked like 22. Yeah, I mean, just young and dumb.
I mean, I know it was 2010. I don't think that guy was training.
No. He
didn't strike me as the...
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. So that is that's what we've got as far as our show today, you guys. We got any comments? I see Collins was the last one on Facebook or YouTube, sorry.
John, out of everything, he mainly just added like spice to the stuff you guys were saying, but there is one question he has here that I would like your answer to. John Garner said, "Do y'all in the MMA community treat faking belts like we do stolen valor in the military? I know the apples to oranges, but just curious."
Yeah, so going back to this one of guy like exposing a fake blue belt, dude, that line of being so bad on vacation, that's the thing is like, you know, a fake black belt is I'm not going to put it on the same level of stolen valor, because I think there's a big difference between pretending to be one of the soldiers fighting for our freedom and going out there in true war. I'm not going to make that comparison, because it's frankly it's a ludicrous comparison of like over a jiu-jitsu black belt versus a war hero. But we get really upset about it. Like we don't like it. So to the point, you know what? Let's talk about it. I mean, we're here. I'm gonna pull up Moneyberg.
Should kids be given a black belt?
Yeah, sure.
Jiu-jitsu black belt.
Yeah, if they're when they're of age. Now when you say kids, I'm talking about someone under 18.
Yeah, 'cause you start at 5,
Yeah,
and then you're 15 years old. That's 10 years of training.
There is. I think there are kids who are better than and will beat black belts. You know, they like actual black belts. So we're gonna pull up Moneyberg here, official site of Derek Money. So here we go. Yep. Can you guys see my screen? So this is an example of John. This was a big deal in the industry. Yep. BJJ black belt earned 3.5 years. I'll screen share it, Mo. Sorry, I forgot. I'll screen share it for you. Podcast. It's gonna be on TV. So this is Moneyberg on YouTube, or excuse me, Instagram. A black belt was earned in 3.5 years. Did 3,000 hours of one-on-one training. Best training in history. 0 days missed. And he's got some names behind him. You got Frank Murr, Jake Shields, Glover, and like these are. So this is a big deal in the industry of they're saying he just effectively bought a black belt.
Well, hold on a second. I haven't seen this picture. Let me see something here. So 3,000 hours divided by. There
1,000 hours in 3.5 years, or 3,000 hours in 3.5 years is intense. We surveyed nearly 2,000. This caption is interesting. 3.5 years to black belt would be insanely impressive feat reserved for phenoms like BJJ Penn, who proved his jiu-jitsu by winning the North World Championship and becoming the first non-Brazilian to do so. And we surveyed nearly 2,000 jiu-jitsu practitioners, and the results showed the average takes 13.3 years to earn a black belt. And
so listen, Lyoto Machida, Frank Mir, Jake Shields, those are legitimate grapplers.
So
I mean legitimate.
Well, and here we are. Here's the controversy now.
They're respected in the entire jiu-jitsu community.
They were. And so to me, right, wrong, or indifferent, I don't care. Ultimately, I don't care. Like, I don't know money, but I don't know any of these guys, right? All we can control is, everyone's saying, I want to see competition footage, put him in a tournament, whatever. Like, listen, dude, like that's a tournament proves who was best that day. Gordon so much as goes on to here with, and he said he's seen him roll. He said he would hold his own against hobbyist black belts. So
3.5 years is like what, 42 months?
It's 20 hours a week, a little bit less than 20 hours a week of private lessons for 3.5 years.
Yeah, so when I Google 3,000 divided by 42, it says about 72 lessons in total.
72?
Yeah. At least my math is wrong. But 3,000 hours divided by 42 months, 72.
So he's trained twice. He's trained 2 times a day for 3.5 years.
So I mean, you guys are saying he trained with like the cream of the crop.
Well,
right?
I mean, they are,
and it's 1-on-1.
They are, yeah, and 1-on-1 train. So, I mean, this is not.
If Gordon Ryan said that he would hold his own against hobbyists, and I haven't seen this picture, Frank Mir and Lyoto Machida. I mean, I've only then that has to be an arguable point, but I've only seen his video with socks on.
And that was from Blue Belt. Like that was when he had Blue Belt.
Is there any footage we can review?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Is that everyone is like, and here's who cares? Like everyone wants to, and this is how does this affect or impact your jiu-jitsu at all?
Me personally,
no. I'm not saying like you. I'm just saying like to anyone listening or talking. How does this impact or affect your jiu-jitsu at all? It doesn't. And yeah,
it affects the standard of promotion in jiu-jitsu. I think it affects everybody. Like if this was not a legitimate black belt, if the Gordon Ryan and the other guys didn't sign off on him, then it opens the door to this happening again and again and again. But like he has multiple people that have signed off on it, and I guess he pulled some money out that he was giving to one of the jiu-jitsu somewhere in the jiu-jitsu community, and with all the backlash on him, he's pulled like some support, financial support for some organization.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah. What was I saw that. I mean, I think this is where you get caught. You get so caught up in this. I think this is an appropriate addition to the belts matter. There are the level between black belt itself is extreme. Like I could go against a black belt and make it look like I've never trained jiu-jitsu. Some of these, there are black belts out there that it would be humiliating to go against, right? And they say, oh, well, Fox is a fake black belt. Mo is a fake black belt. Well, or there's levels to this game, and there's a completely different level between someone who's a professional, like your livelihood. You're aiming to win the $1 million CJI. You're going for ADCC. Like if you're working a professional athlete, just like there's a different level of, you can be a great ball player, great basketball coach.
Yeah.
You're not beating LeBron, and so like in a lot of other sports, like that they seem to understand that there's disparities between these things, and which just goes to my thesis. I think a black belt is, I think it's a great goal. I think it's, I think they've earned some respect to earn a black belt, to put in the work that's required of it, because the standard is so. I think every coach's greatest fear is they have the concern of like the loss of respect or credibility in the industry. They want to make sure that their belts are legitimate, that your blues are good, your purples are, like that. They're just a credible school. And I talk to people on the phone all the time. I was like, there's every jiu-jitsu school in the state that I know of is legitimate. There's no like, those guys suck. Like they're just, I don't know of one, right? They're all legitimate. Like I see them at tournaments. A lot of the coaches compete. Their guys hold their own. They do well. Like, so now it's just finding the gym that fits your, that fits your lifestyle, your culture, your worldview, your personality. So, yeah, I think the Moneyberg thing is interesting to talk about, but ultimately it has zero effect on.
It doesn't shake like my confidence.
Metro, yeah.
But what it's interesting, like I'm curious to know, is that even, I guess when you run it down, it's like, yeah, someone like a Mark Zuckerberg who just got into jiu-jitsu, who has the time, if he chooses, and the investment to fly like world-class black belts out to his Hawaiian compound. Like that guy could easily, I could see that guy getting the one-to-one lessons, right, with world-class trainers, and then just dedicating the time if he chooses to.
And I think
it's like Batman.
I think that just the lack of footage is what people are doubting, because you see Zuckerberg, the guy can train. You see who's
Tom Brady's wife, Giselle.
No, oh, I don't know who that is, but they
Didn't they break up?
I haven't seen any footage of her, but they who's the Batman villain? Bane.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, dude, he's a
purple belt.
He's a scrapper. You look at even Slater, AC Slater. Like, I mean, he wrestled even from back in the day. He can scrap. Zach Morris, that actor. Like, there's footage of these guys like doing jiu-jitsu, and everyone's like, oh, and they're not, granted, they're not black, but like they're like legitimate blues, legitimate purples, you know. And I think that just the lack of like competition footage. But Moneyberg, I mean, the guy is like, I think it's noteworthy because he's built some type of business. I don't even know what he does, but he's built some type of business empire. And part of me wonders if that's like why he's getting so much hate, because that's no small task. So it definitely takes a level of discipline. Like, he's not just trying to buy it. And if he truly did 3,000 hours, imagine if 3,000 hours and you get to do matches with those guys, like how fast would you pick? We've seen guys that have skyrocketed. Like they go train with guys like a B team and that, and they skyrocket just your every class. You're training with Craig or Ryan or Gordon, or, you know, like Nikki or like how fast would you get better? Pretty fast. Like, so, you know, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I understand they're comparing him to a BJ Penn, but you know, I mean, if Gordon's going that, he was not afraid to give his opinion, and he is not afraid to trash talk and smash talk. And if Moneyberg was the scam or con artist that everyone's saying he is, Gordon, I believe, would condemn him. And I don't think, I mean, he's got enough money to where like more money wouldn't make a difference for him. So, and he even like openly critiqued him. He's like, yeah, he's a hobbyist black belt. He's a hobbyist black belt. Like, that's, and I've told him he needs to work on these things. Like, I've told him this, and I've told him he needs to go compete. I've told him that, you know, like and so that's that segment. So, all right, y'all. Well, I appreciate you guys commenting, liking, following along. We will be back next week. We have Coach Todd Williams, Olympic gold medalist from track and field from the 90s, owner of Monroe Jiu-Jitsu, my home county, and definitely excited to have him. And he's got a good thing going down in Monroe. I'm happy for the people of Monroe. He's got a huge kids program, huge adult program. So excited to have him on next week. So,
is he gonna bring the medal?
The medal, I don't know. I could ask him. It's for track and field or something from the 90s.
It's an Olympic gold medal.
It's still very cool. Yeah, no, it's still very cool. But that's it, you guys. If you're on the channel, like, subscribe, follow, comment, ask us any questions, and we'll see. As always, we'll see you guys on the mats.